Hello. So for the last days of July, Addison wanted to read Santa is Coming to Philadelphia. Christmas in July, why not? Right, Addie? Addie and Yoda? Having a good time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we got. We've never read this story before. Santa is coming to Philadelphia.
Mom, these don't say.
Oh, wow. It's a pretty significant book here. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Philadelphia been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, tethering piles of letters that the children of Philadelphia had sent him. Mostly, asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get their presents loaded up. It's not the end, Addison. We just started. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big, and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though, how they managed to fit such a big sack into one little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow, they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of your reindeer is missing. Oh, no. His reindeer is missing?
There are 1 and 2 reindeers.
Yeah, but one is missing, see?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Missing? Which reindeer is missing, asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then, a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates for Philadelphia. This will guide us to Philadelphia in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. That little reindeer is silly, huh?
Mm-hmm.
With the flick of the reins and the jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky.
They're gonna be all reindeer.
Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to dear old Philly.
Is Santa cop? There he cop.
Yeah, he's saying, ho, ho, ho. You know the sound Santa makes, right? When you sit on his lap and tell him what you want for Christmas. Santa's sleigh. Now, why they have to make the words like this? That's going to be interesting. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the wintry air, crossing the coast over Lake Erie. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above Allentown and toward the Delaware River. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before.
Uh-huh.
On their way.
Did he come out a book?
They had just flown over the Betsy Ross Bridge when suddenly where did we get this book? This is interesting. They had just flown over the Betsy Ross Bridge when they suddenly ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled in around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav, in a bossy lady's voice, keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all the snow. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Oh no. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer, the one with the red nose, but he had his head down.
Quickly, then read this one.
There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With the flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "It must be the Holy Trinity Church. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming." Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. "You have arrived," said the Santa Nav unhelpfully. Oh no, they crashed.
I'm not finding my pillow. Give me it.
Look at this book, Aunt. It's Center City.
Oh yeah, looks like it.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
Santa is coming to Philadelphia. It's got all like the stuff. William Penn, City Hall. Wow, this is crazy. Addie just took my pillow I was using to prop the book up. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck below the statue of William Penn, right at the very top of City Hall. "Everybody pull!" The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the statue and Santa steered them away to safety over City Hall, past the Reading Terminal Market, above Chinatown's Friendship Gate, and down into Franklin Square. Well, somebody must have been living in Philly to make this book.
Oh.
Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents into order again. "All right," said Santa. "Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming." Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Philadelphia,
Mom, I want people here.
popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go. There were big chimneys in Old City and small chimneys in Pennypack. All right, I heard you. I heard you. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Boathouse Row and plummeted down fat chimneys in Spring Garden. The youngest reindeer was amazed how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Philadelphia were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. In house after house, Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Philadelphia had left out a plate of cookies and a small glass of milk and a big, crunchy carrot.
Hey, can I see our kids?
Santa took a little bite of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, and wiped his beard and popped the carrots into his sack.
And
It's just like we leave for Santa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like wheat leaves for
They got Geno steaks in here. The Rocky statue. Look.
No, no.
Mama. Oh my goodness.
From Doylestown to Norristown. From King of Prussia to Bryn Mawr. From Jenkintown to Haverford. And all the places in between. Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Center City and beyond. Santa delivered presents to Andrew, Allison, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ashley, and the list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zybel. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Philadelphia list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among the reindeers. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding past Penn's Landing and over the Liberty Bell through the crisp, starry night.
Mom, look.
Okay. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Philadelphia. The end. It is the end.
Mom, let's see it. But
Written by Steve Smallman and illustrated by Robert Dunn. Very cool.
wait a minute, this is very so cool too.
Oh, that's so cool too. All right, it's time for bed. I love you.
I love you.
Good night.
I talk to you. I talk to Grandma and Grandpa.